Uma is a very reflective person. She thinks deeply about her work, and she is extremely intense.
She's just a force of nature. Really has had such a powerful impact on who I am as a person and how I've chosen to live my life and the things that matter to us.
There are a lot of assumptions people make about you when you're brown and short and small. It just makes you a little bit more fierce and a little bit more brave, I guess.
When she introduces herself to someone, she says, "I'm a pediatrician." And that's true. And it certainly is like core to how she thinks about herself. But if you think about my mom, she's a pediatrician with this big vision. She cares deeply about what's best for kids.
I grew up in India, went to medical school there, went to college there, and then decided that I wanted to specialize in the care of newborns. And the field of neonatology in India was not developed at that time, so I decided that I needed to come here. And when I came to Cincinnati, it was the smallest town I'd ever lived in my life, having come from Mumbai. But the Children's Hospital was magnificent and is magnificent, and my colleagues there were fantastic, and the opportunity to learn and do research and contribute was huge. My husband and I are both faculty at the University of Cincinnati and at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and raised our kids here, and now we've been here 40 years or something.
It has always been about making things better for kids, and she has pushed the envelope on what that's meant for her entire career. She was talking about outcomes before people knew what that meant. She had a conception for how to actually build a system that works for kids before people really understood what that meant. And that commitment to always pushing the envelope, to talking about things that people weren't yet ready to talk about, even when it made them uncomfortable, I think that is central to why she's been so successful at making things better for kids.
Find my teapot. It's just such an important thing to do, to make tea. It's a ritual for us. My husband makes me tea every morning.
The biggest thing that she has done is work for Cincinnati and for children in Cincinnati, and that's both in her work at Cincinnati Children's, but also as her work has continued doing work for the Cincinnati Public Schools on, education and how do we improve the ability for kids to get a great education in the Cincinnati Public Schools and for us to do the right thing for them.
Uma is profoundly wise. And so she understands that there's a really big connection between healthcare and outcomes for kids and education. And so she understood that there was a need for her to come and work with the school district on literacy, because kids who are educated grow up to be adults who are educated, who actually lead healthier lives.
The last several years now, I shifted from my role in the hospital thinking about healthcare to thinking about health. That leads me to partnerships with Cincinnati Public Schools and City Council, Cincinnati Health Department, and with the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services, all of the people who are contributing to the health of the children. And we asked the question, could we all do better working together? We created the All Children Thrive Network, which allows us to partner across the city and with our colleagues at the state level to make life better for kids, better schools, better teacher training, better mental health prevention, better clinical care. We expect that these will have an impact on children and that we can overcome some of the social circumstances under which they start their lives. Diesel is almost 14 years old. He's named for running back for the Washington Redskins.
Are you a sports person?
I have to be. I have to be. My husband is very, very serious about sports.
Uma is definitely deserving of the honor of a great living Cincinnatian. She not only works for the kids in this community, but she also works for kids all around the world.
She keeps saying, it means not dead yet. I'm like, it doesn't mean not dead yet. It's a tribute to a lifetime of doing work to improve the health of kids in our community and beyond.
I don't know that I've done anything exceptional. I've said yes to opportunities that allow me to impact kids.
I'm just excited for her that she gets to stand up there and have recognition. And it's not always a comfortable place for her because she's so used to advocating for others and pushing others forward. It's nice for her to get a moment to sort of stand in the spotlight and get recognized for all she's done.
I think a lot about what it must have been like 40-something years ago. I wonder what people then must have thought of her, this 5'2" South Asian woman with a razor-sharp mind. She was one of very few women, certainly one of very few women of color. And 45 years later, she's changed the institution. She's changed the field. She's changed the city.